Attention passionate Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Buffalo Bills' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Buffalo Bills fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Let's get to the news. All right, Bills fans, buckle up because there's some serious buzz swirling around the league right now, and it involves one of the most disruptive defensive tackles in the league, Christian Wilkins. I know what you're thinking, Wilkins with the Bills. Yeah, it's a wild rumor, but it's gaining serious traction. Rumor mill sources, including whispers from the Raiders, are suggesting that Vegas, currently sitting at a dismal 2-9 and struggling defensively, might be looking to shake things up. Their defense is hemorrhaging points, giving up an average of 28, 4 points per game, and with a cap space of roughly $25 million free, they're in a position where they need to make some bold moves. One of those moves, they say, could be trading Christian Wilkins to Buffalo. And honestly, if this happens, it could be a game changer for the Bills, defense, and their entire approach to the second half of the season. Let's break down the details. The Raiders are reportedly eyeing a second-round pick in the 2026 draft for Wilkins. That's a significant return, especially when you consider the impact Wilkins can have. The Raiders, in rebuild mode on defense and especially with their cap situation, are looking to shed some veteran contracts. And Wilkins, as a massive space eater and run stopper, fits that bill perfectly. He's not just a run defender. He's a game wrecker inside, a true Leviathan who can disrupt the entire offensive line. His career stats are pretty impressive. Over 7 years, he's accumulated 280 solo tackles, 150 assists, and 28 sacks, along with 300 pressures, which is exactly what you want from a defensive tackle. His PFF grade has consistently been in the high 80s, with a 2024 grade of 89.0, and he's been a nightmare for opposing offenses. The numbers speak for themselves. He's a force in the middle, capable of collapsing the pocket and clogging running lanes. Now, here's where it gets interesting for the Bills. Our defensive line has been solid overall, but it's also been a little vulnerable, especially after the season-ending Achilles injury to Ed Oliver, who was having a pretty strong year with 4-5 sacks in 9 games and a PFF grade of 87. Oliver's absence has been felt, especially in run defense, where the Bills have seen a dip in efficiency. Von Miller, too, has been battling injuries, limiting his impact. Adding a player like Wilkins could be the shot in the arm that our interior defensive line desperately needs. Think about it. Wilkins, paired with Daquan Jones, would give Buffalo a dominant duo inside, elevating our run defense by at least 20%, according to some projections. That's huge, especially when you consider how much teams like Miami and Kansas City have exploited the middle of the line this season. What makes Wilkins even more appealing is his ability to contribute on third downs. His pass rush numbers are impressive, averaging around 2.5 pressures per game in recent seasons, with a run-stop percentage hovering around 38%. He's a guy who can be trusted to hold his ground against double teams, freeing up other pass rushers like Gregory Rousseau and Leonard Floyd to get after the quarterback. And with the Bills looking to tighten their overall defensive scheme, Wilkins could be the missing piece to elevate us from a good defense to an elite one. His ability to generate pressure from inside and stuff the run would complement our current pass rushers perfectly. And speaking of pass rush, this move could have a ripple effect. Adding Wilkins could increase our internal sacks from around 12 to potentially 30, creating more pressure on opposing quarterbacks and forcing mistakes. It's not just about sacks, though. Wilkins' presence would allow us to be more versatile, mixing up our fronts and confusing offenses. Plus, his ability to stuff the run would make us more balanced and resilient, especially against teams with powerful rushing attacks like the Dolphins or the Ravens. Now, some skeptics might say, why would the Raiders trade Wilkins now? They're sitting at 2-9 and they need interior help, especially with the loss of Oliver and the ongoing rebuild on defense. Well, yeah, but the Raiders are also trying to clear cap space, and they have their eyes on a rebuild that involves acquiring younger talent and draft capital. They're reportedly looking to rebuild their wide receiver core, especially with rumors about Davante Adams possibly being moved or restructured. The defense, especially the interior line, is in flux, and they might see Wilkins as a player who could fetch a decent return and help them reset their roster. For the Bills, this could be a no-brainer. Adding Wilkins would mean bolstering our front seven, making us tougher against the run and more dangerous in the pass rush. Imagine a defensive line with Daquan Jones and Christian Wilkins, complemented by Rouse, Floyd, and the rest of our talented front. It would be a nightmare for offenses, especially in the playoffs when every yard, every sack, and every disruption counts. Our run defense could go from middle of the pack to one of the league's best, and our pass rush could see a huge bump in efficiency. That would translate directly into fewer points allowed, more turnovers, and a better chance at making a deep playoff run. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. This move, if it happens, could be a turning point for the Bills this season. We're currently sporting a 7-4 record, and every game counts. Improving our interior line would not only help us now, but also set the stage for a possible Super Bowl push. The AFC is stacked, but with a dominant trench game, we'd be right in the thick of things. Our odds would skyrocket. DraftKings has already bumped us from plus 900 to plus 600 for Super Bowl LXI, and that's not just due to one player. It's about the entire package coming together, and Wilkins could be that missing piece that elevates us from a good team to a true championship contender. Of course, nothing is guaranteed in the NFL, and trades of this magnitude involve a lot of moving parts. The Bills would have to navigate cap space, draft pick negotiations, and the Raiders' willingness to part with such a key player. But if there's one thing we know about the Bills, it's that we're always looking to improve, always aiming higher, and never settling for mediocrity. Adding a player like Wilkins would send a message to the division and the league that Buffalo is here to stay, that we're committed to building a trench dynasty that can dominate for years to come. In the end, whether this trade materializes or not, it's exciting to see how the landscape of the AFC is shifting. Everyone is making moves, and the Bills are right in the thick of the action. We've got a talented roster, a smart coaching staff, and the hunger to finally get over the hump and bring that elusive Super Bowl trophy back to Buffalo. This rumor about Wilkins might just be the spark we need, or it might be a sign of the kind of bold moves our front office is willing to consider. Either way, it's a thrilling time to be a Bills fan, and I can't wait to see how this story unfolds. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Buffalo Bills news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. So what do you think, Bills fans? Would you welcome Christian Wilkins to our defensive line? Do you see him as the perfect piece to put us over the top? I know I do. This kind of move could redefine our identity, making us not just playoff contenders but serious Super Bowl favorites. The AFC is tough, but with Wilkins inside, I believe we can match up with anyone. The key now is to stay tuned, watch how the rumors develop, and hope that our front office pulls off this game-changing trade. Because if it happens, it's going to be a game-changer, not just for this season, but for the future of the Buffalo Bills. And now, Buffalo Bills fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Bills. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Buffalo Bills news.